Do we need to do roll call over again or just acknowledge that the two commissioners that are late are here? And somebody,
I'll just note the time of their arrival,
okay,
unless that anyone has an issue with that.
okay,
Okay,
great.
great. Yeah. So
Okay.
when they get here, we'll note that.
Okay. Everyone has the agenda. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
I did have one item to note that I had more of a question about.
Okay.
Just for consistency's sake, I didn't see an invoice for the historian and the contract amendment from the May meeting. So I would suggest removing that from the consent calendar and moving that to a voting action, just so that it's noted for the record that we need an invoice and the updated contract.
Okay. Um, Now, as far as the invoice, does it has to have to be a certain type of invoice or
Mr. Montague's
is
provided invoices in the past, so I
okay,
think after approving his payment tonight, we can request that to receive a check.
Yeah, he has a thing that he's already like working on that he just needs to update. I would suggest we move that from the consent calendar to the voting actions, just so that that's noted for the record for auditability purposes.
so if we move it to the where you want to move it to?
Just off of the off of the consent calendar, moving it to a voting action so that those notes can be added in for the record.
Okay. Do we need to take a vote on whether we're going to move it from the consent calendar to the voter action?
Chairwoman, this is an amendment to
Yes,
the agenda. We have to take a vote.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Since it's an amendment to the agenda, to change the agenda, we have to take a vote.
Okay.
And Commissioner, if I could just restate the motion.
Yep.
Yes. So I move that we remove the payment to the historian for Trinidad presentation from the consent calendar to a voting action item. Just to, I'll leave it there, and we can talk about it then. Can I get a second?
Second.
And
Okay, motion. Oh,
I'm sorry. We have to be on camera when we make our votes, when we do voting, and we're voting right now. So, can everyone turn their cameras on? Okay.
here. Okay, is there any discussion of the motion before I do roll call vote? I think we already did, so. All right.
I'm sorry, I was running a little late. Could you do a quick rehash of the vote? You don't need to do all of it, just the top line.
Yeah,
so since we don't have our historian's actual invoice, we're just moving it to a voting action item so the minutes reflect our conversation on it.
Perfect, thank you. I'm ready. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, we'll do roll call. 5D01, I, 5D02.
Real quick.
Oh.
Real quick. Prior to voting, can you note, I don't know if we noted that Commissioner Hostler arrived.
I noted it.
For the minutes.
I noted.
All right, cool.
Commissioner Hosler's arrival at 7:07.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Chelby.
Sure, no problem. Okay, and I'm gonna do roll call. Great. Motion's been moved and seconded. 5D01, aye. 5D02,
Aye.
5D03 is not here. 5D04,
Aye.
5D05,
Aye.
5D06,
Aye.
5D07, and 5D08 are not here. 5D09.
Aye.
Great. Motion passes.
Chairwoman, I will note that Mr. Montague is in the participants group and he has his hand raised.
Okay.
Mr. Montague, did you have something to clarify? Because we're still moving forward with payment. We just didn't get have that invoice on our agenda as noticed.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, I just caught the tail end of what you all just did, which is a real problem for me. Now, the invoice was submitted right after the presentation at Trinidad, okay? So there was an invoice that was submitted. I know I sent it to Commissioner Rhodes. I don't know. I don't understand why the former treasurer continues to battle this project. And I'm not, hopefully I'm not out of place by what I'm saying. But there's two problems in place right now. One, there is what is called a material breach of contract. But it can be remedied. And in fact, Commissioner Rhodes went through a lot of hoop jumping to get the Ivy City presentation scheduled for the 23rd. I still don't have a presentation for scheduled for Carver Langston. But this business was supposed to have been taken care of, I believe, by June 30. I'm not sure the exact day. So, in addition to the material breach, it appears that there may be some torturous interference going on. So I looked into these things before I even mention it. What I would like for us to do is be able to figure out how to conclude this business in the most professional and expeditious manner possible.
If I can speak, let me be clear. The only thing I ever wanted to do was make sure auditable. So the invoice was to track everything going on, and I am not the leader of this project. I just want to make sure that when something is going to be done, we have it submitted, we have it so that the public can notice it, and we have it so that everyone is on the same page with the project. That's it. So I apologize if it feels like there's some type of back and forth. This is more so to ensure that the public is noticed about the project. These presentations are happening so that the public knows. And the invoice is just to say, hey, this was remitted. We have a timesheet from our social media and our admin consultant. So this is a similar thing. Not asking for anything crazy right now. So if the delay for the presentations, I have nothing to do with that. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is in A equals B equals C, so that when it comes down to an auditor looking at our books, they're like, did this happen? We have an invoice to show it happened. Yes, this is our remission for the payment. That's it. We know this happened on this day. It was noticed to the public on next day. That's it. So I'm not trying to go back and forth with you. This is a public meeting. We do understand that you are here. We appreciate your work. Like, we appreciate everything you've done. But I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to allow my name to be slandered here. And I will say, like, I appreciate your work, but I will not allow my name to be slandered in any public setting, any public forum. All I'm trying to do is make sure A equals B equals C. We'll make sure you get paid. This is just a note for the record. Everything that has changed, everything that has happened. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. And Mr. Jeremiah, do you have the invoice for the Trinidad? And actually, we can discuss this during the voting action, but if you have a copy of that invoice, can you please send it to us from the
I believe,
Trinidad presentation?
I believe it was sent to 5D at anc.dc.gov,
Okay, we'll check the records.
which means that all the commissioners should have seen it, right?
We'll pull it up, and if we don't have it, Mr. Montague, we'll
Yeah.
follow up. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Jeremiah.
Do I need to stay around?
No, Chairwoman, that's on you. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, if it's not necessary, you don't have to. We'll make sure that the paperwork is done and
We have the invoice, Chairwoman.
you got the invoice?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So do we need Mr. Jeremiah to stick around?
If he wants to further discuss the items that he addressed, he can stay towards our voting action item section.
Okay. All right. So that means it's up to you. It's up to you, Mr. Jeremiah, if you want to stick around.
Okay, well, Commissioner
You
Rhodes, you know, I haven't been in the best of health, so
I know.
uh,
Yeah.
I'm still recovering.
Okay.
So I'm going to step away, but I appreciate your consideration and the fact that Commissioner Salcedo Guzman did confirm that the invoice is in hand.
Yes.
All right.
And
Thank you, sir.
if we need you, we'll contact you, okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Get better. Okay. So, did we do that vote properly or did we not?
Yes,
We did?
we add
Okay.
that as a voting action item.
Okay,
Chairwoman,
great.
for the sake of time, I just quickly have to make two motions for two additions to the agenda.
Okey doke.
I haven't, we had a community member that wanted to present on caregivers and caregiver support for folks that are
Mhm.
interested in knowing how to access that. She
Mhm.
has not confirmed her attendance because she was actually at the Wilson Building regarding a voting action item that the council's holding on that matter. So she might still be tied up or unavailable. But if she
Okay.
does present herself, I will take my 3 minutes of commissioner time and give it to her just to briefly discuss that and maybe invite her back in September after our recess. But I will like to add two voting action items for us to discuss as a commission. A proposal is not formally written, but I think it is important that our commission does speak on this and vote to actually formalize a proposal. The first motion is that I move that ANC 5D discusses a proposal against I'm sorry, a proposal against the presence of the National Guard in Washington, D.C. Can I get a second on this motion?
Second.
Commissioner Hustler here, second.
And can we do roll call real quick?
Yeah, I'll do roll call unless there's any discussion or questions on that. I actually have a question. Was this the one that was sent around like just earlier today? Like another commission sent us a template for opposing the National Guard presence. Okay. Yeah, I'm in support of that motion, but I would note, or sorry, of that resolution, but I would note that it's a template as it is, so we would need to fill it in with specifics about
Mhm.
ANC 5D. Am I understanding that
Yeah,
right?
I think
Okay.
during the voting action item, we can discuss that, but I think we should write
Okay.
our own specifically stating our neighborhoods.
Okay.
Okay. And then
Mhm.
can you just say that like everybody need to add to the resolution based on their own neighborhoods because all of our neighborhoods are different, but
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, thanks. And the
Okay.
other one, did you have another one?
Oh, we still needed a vote on the first motion. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah, so the motion is to put that resolution on the National Guard as a voting action, and we've moved and seconded, so we'll do a roll call.
mhm.
5D01, I'm an aye. 5D02,
Aye.
5D03,
Yes.
5D04,
Yes.
5D05,
Aye.
5D06,
Aye.
5D07, and 5D08 aren't here, so 5D09.
Commissioner Campbell?
I said aye.
Thank
Great,
you.
okay.
My second motion is another voting action item to discuss sending a formal letter to the Department of Health to select neighborhoods here in ANC 5D for rat abatement birth control that's been used in different parts of the district, particularly in Northwest. I've had my own constituents request that in certain parts of the neighborhood, particularly off of Sims Place and 16th Street, being that those are corridors with not only high traffic volume of folks, but also corridors that have food establishments. So I would love to have this as an open discussion for the ANC to vote for us to write a letter to the Department of Health requesting these resources. Can I get a second on this motion?
Second.
Okay, motion was moved and seconded. Are there any questions or discussion before I do a roll call? Okay, hearing none. The motion is to put it's a resolution on rat birth control testing in 5D, Commissioner. As a voting action. 5D01, I'll vote aye. 5D02,
Aye. Oh, can
5D.
we,
Oh,
this, this discussion, but we can vote first and then I have a couple of questions.
well, if it's on the substance of the resolution, we can also do that when it comes up
Yep.
as a voting action. Okay,
Okay.
great. So I voted, you voted 5D03,
Mhm.
Yes.
5D04,
Aye.
5D05,
Aye.
5D06,
Aye.
5D07, and 5D08 are not here, excuse me. 5D09,
Yes. Aye.
great. Okay. So the agenda has been amended with those additional actions.
Okay, thank you. So, we have made changes to the agenda. And so I move that we adopt this agenda with the changes. Can I get a second?
Second?
And Commissioner Chelby, can you do roll call, please?
Yep. 5D01, I vote aye. 5D02,
Aye.
5D03,
Aye.
5D04,
Aye.
5D05,
Aye.
5D06,
Aye.
and 5D09.
Aye.
Okay. Agenda as amended is adopted.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right, so we don't have any minutes to adopt right now. Is that right, Andy?
Shaking his head,
That's
yes.
correct.
Okay. I couldn't see you. Okay. Okay, so the treasurer's monthly report, Commissioner Chobe.
Sure. So if you'll permit me, I'm gonna share my screen on
Yes.
the unsigned version of the third quarterly financial report. Give me 1 second. Do I have the ability to share my screen, or should I just verbally
Oh,
describe?
good. Do you not have that?
I might just be missing it. Sorry, I've been sick.
Uh,
Yeah,
Go ahead, try again.
do you have a share
Um,
button at the bottom of your screen?
oh yeah. Sorry,
Okay,
excuse me.
Perfect.
no
I had it formatted wrong.
Mhm.
Okay. So you should be seeing hopefully ANC 5D quarterly financial report.
Mhm.
Yes, okay, great.
Yes.
Yep.
So first of all, shout out to Commissioner McCray, who is the one who prepared this. But as you all are aware, I am acting treasurer. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, I thought there was a question. Okay, so we will have to file this with OANC. Uh, I will note though that my understanding is we have to attach um the minutes from all of our public meetings that occurred during this time. So as of now, since we don't have May and June minutes sent around and signed, this is not fully complete, but um we can file this with the OANC once we have those for attachments. But as you can see, we started this quarter with just over 44K. We got a receipt 459. So our total funds available was 44,600. In terms of what we spent on, we spent for communications $1,729.20, and for purchase of services $3,973. That adds up to purchases disbursements of 5,702. So that means at the end of the quarter, our balance was 38,901. If there's any questions on what any of this was about, I will do my best, but it may be a group effort. But basically what we have to do is my understanding of what we have to do is we get the minutes uh from our public meetings that took place during this time. Uh we vote our approval of this, and we get myself and the chair to sign it before we file with OANC. Is there any discussion of this matter? Or McCray,
So once
Commissioner McCray, have I left anything out? Yeah.
I was just gonna say, once we vote on it, it has to be submitted to the OANC within 7 days. So
Okay.
I would submit it and then just let Don know we do not have the May and June meeting minutes, and we won't have that until September, and see what kind of
Okay.
delay it's going to cause. And if we need to kind of move forward, we'll just have to have a special meeting in the meantime. So I would suggest if we go forth with it, otherwise this will be late. Go forth,
Okay.
submit,
Okay.
and then on the back end, let her know about the meeting minutes.
Okay. Yeah, are folks comfortable with this being filed like without the May and June minutes, and noting to OANC that we'll
Yeah.
add those later? Yes.
I agree. I
Okay.
think that's the best method based on the circumstances. Do we have any clarification on what we spent the funds on this last quarter?
Yeah, any question? Uh,
Commissioner McCray, do we
The
remember what we
only
spent
funds dispersed, yes, the 172920 is to cover the Verizon bill from April through January 2027.
yes.
And the purchase of service is to pay for our social media admin and the first historian presentation.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me, but does anyone else have anything they need clarified before
No.
we vote? Okay, I have one question before we vote, which
Mhm.
is uh Andy, do you have an estimate of how long it would take you to get a draft of the minutes? It's okay if you don't, but just for our awareness. The May and June minutes.
I can probably get them in the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's just for when we give this to Dawn, I can say something
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
we expect to be able to add these within X amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And feel free to loop me in if that's helpful.
Okay. Great. So as Commissioner McCray noted, if we approve this, the treasurer, acting treasurer has to file this with OANC within 7 days. So that'll be on me. I move that we approve the third quarter quarterly financial report. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded. Any further discussion or questions?
Sorry, who seconded that?
Commissioner
Rhodes.
Commissioner
Thank you.
Rhodes.
Sorry. I'm taking notes. Thank you.
No, I appreciate it, Andy. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Roll call for that motion. 5D01, I'm aye. 5D02,
Aye.
5D03,
Aye.
5D04,
Aye.
5D05,
Aye.
5D06,
Aye.
and 5D09.
Aye.
Okay, great. So that motion passes, and I will stop sharing my screen on that document now.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to go to committee reports. Do we have any good news or any news from the Trash and Beautification Committee?
Yes, I have news. Let me just get my piece of paper here. I might have to disappear because I can't do two things at the same. I can't read my notes at the same time as okay, as I appear, I guess. Okay, so so this is the Trash and Beautification Committee news. I'm Anna Roblin. I'm the chairperson of the committee. Charquinta McCray is the vice chair, and Andy D'Antonio is the co-chair. I'm the co-chair of the committee. He's the resident co-chair. So very exciting news. First, Andy D'Antonio joined us as our resident co-chair, and now we have an intern joining us, our committee's first intern, Matt Monroe, and we're going to vote on Matt joining us later in this meeting. Welcome, Matt. Thank you so much for joining us. So other news is our monthly planning meetings have had much more attendance in the last few months, and I feel really good about it. I feel like our organizing has really set in. Another super fantastic piece of news is that Forested, the group in charge of implementing the food forest that we've been working on placing at the Trinidad Rec Center, just received permission from DPR to proceed with the design. So Forested will draft up some ideas for the food forest design, and then we'll have a community meeting for the input. And I hope that a lot of you all will come to the meeting. It's Lincoln Smith from Forested, who's our leader from Forested. He said he'll be in touch in the next few weeks to schedule a community meeting, and we'll bring initial sketches of the food forest layout and planting ideas, and we'll be hoping to get community input. Note that with projects like these, there's always a large amount of red tape involved, so they generally take years to set up, which it has been taking years. But he said that, finally, it's happening, and we can expect hopefully to start planting around winter or spring. Another project of ours is we're also trying to get more litter cans placed in as many spots as possible throughout the whole commission, every SMD. Unfortunately, there's a waiting list for the cans from I forgot what agency has the cans, but there's a waiting list, and we're pretty far down on it. But we're also looking for public input from all of you on anywhere you believe really needs a litter can. Please contact me with these ideas. I'm at 5d03@anc.dc.gov and 202-651-0581. And I'll also put my info in the chat. I'm not returning next term, so I'm hoping that whoever has the trash and beautification committee will have enough time to devote to it. But I feel like even if they don't have as much time as I've had, I'm like the only commissioner here that works part-time instead of full-time. So I've had an abundance of time to commit, and I know so many commissioners are going to work full-time. Whoever takes over probably will. So but I do feel like the committee will be able to continue doing well with Andy D'Antonio, our co-chair, and there are other solid members of the committee who can do a lot of it because they are extremely dedicated. So I do feel like it's going to be okay. I'm leaving it in good hands, even if the commissioner taking over doesn't have a lot of time to devote to it. And we do have many subgroups of the committee. I just want to tell you all what they are, so people, so you know about them. You can join them if you want. Just contact me if you're interested in any of these. These are all separate email chats. We have a core organizing group that is doing a lot of the planning and organizing. We have a beautification working group, a cleanup chat that we use for organizing cleanups, a tree watering group, and our Trinidad Rec Food Forest caretaker group. Our monthly meetings are every third Tuesday at 7:15. And I send out Zoom links in our Google group newsletter. But you can also contact me to just be on our list, and I'll get you on our list for Zooms. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm. Safety? Do we have,
Thank you, Chairwoman. For public safety purposes, the fifth district, someone unmuted.
I'm sorry, we hearing conversation in the background?
I think it's me.
Okay.
I'm outside.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to turn it off. I'm
Oh,
trying to turn it
okay.
off.
The fifth district Citizens Advisory Council is on recess for the month of July and August. They'll reconvene in September. Friendly reminder that they meet the fourth Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. at the fifth district. If you are someone that's interested in public safety, please attend. We tend to see a very siloed events of requests for MPD to show up at community meetings, but the most productive form of input and engagement for public safety is consistent attendance at formalized meetings that have held presence in community for decades, and that is the fifth district Citizens Advisory Council. So if you're interested in public safety, keeping watch on things on your block, please attend those meetings. One of our consistent attendees from 5D is Ms. Juanita Diggs. Feel free to message her directly if you have any questions. She'll be able to answer anything regarding the 5th district. She's been a long-standing attendee of 5D CAC and always happy to see her there. So thank you, Ms. Diggs, for always representing ANC 5D at those meetings. With that being said, I'll allow MPD to speak more on some of the summer crime stats that are currently occurring in some of our police service areas. I know there was a request for the 5th district to attend a public safety meeting this week at New Bethesda Baptist Church. So that is happening tomorrow. Feel free to message me directly for more information. Outside of that, please be very vigilant in terms of any activities happening in your neighborhood. Continue to call MPD. We just had a very, very well put together event through our violence interrupters a few weeks ago at Joe Cole Rec Center, a day of remembrance for those that we have lost to gun violence. It was a very well attended event, very well resourced event. Shout out to the program manager off of Mount Olivet, Miss Alicia Jackson. She performed very well for that resource event. And if you haven't already been in contact with our violence interrupters, I recommend every single person on this call, on this Zoom, to go reach out to them personally. I know we have some folks that are indifferent towards our violence interrupters, but these ones that we have right in the neighborhood do the work. So please do your due diligence and make sure to reach out to them directly if you haven't as a regular citizen. Thank you, Chairwoman.
Thanks for the safety report. Thank you, Commissioner Roblin, for the trash and beautification report. And you'll get a chance. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I was going to address that. Environmental justice, which is myself. I can just add that in the coming weeks, Ivy City will be getting cooling pavement. And this is a pilot project from the American University professors and some students. Actually, our community reached 115 degrees during that heat wave. So we're keeping up with the numbers and keeping up with the data. And we did some research on a cooling pavement, and we do know that it does make the communities a lot cooler, along with trees and bushes and plants. So that pilot project will begin next week. They put the notices indoors. So once they start laying, I guess they're going to paint over the asphalt. I'm not completely sure exactly how they're going to do it, but whatever it is, it's going to cool Ivy City down. And again, they gave everybody notice, and there will be some, they will be doing Kendall, Central, and Providence Street. And so when they're doing it, they might need some like parking. I guess they're going to put some parking signs out, and folks cannot park while they're working on a pavement. So you will see the notices put up on the poles when that is done, when that is ready. But you did get notice in your doors, because I got one. You did get notice in your doors that this is happening. So this is a good thing. It's only a few minutes of inconvenience, or maybe a couple of hours of inconvenience, but it's going to cool our community down. This is just part of what's going to cool our community down. So in September, we'll be able to talk about it a little further once it's down and we read the thermometer and it's not hot as it's been. Okay, and do we have anything for transportation? The Transportation Committee?
Hey, this is Nate. I'm the relatively new chair, convener of that. We have not been meeting regularly, but I've laid point on a few particular concerns or things that need to be followed up on. We're not getting adequate response. I've attempted, as I received those, to loop in the appropriate commissioner from the SMD where they are coming from and follow up with the appropriate authorities to move those forward. Nothing substantial to report at this time, but thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hostler. Okay,
And I guess I was implied that I should have said it. I'm very happy to receive direct communication about this, and I will connect the appropriate people in. I'm on my computer, but not as a panelist, so maybe someone can add my email in the chat for those who want to follow up.
okay, and it seems like we have a question from Ms. Holmes. And I'm not sure, I don't have Q&A on my screen, so I'm not sure if you do, but did anyone get the question from Ms. Holmes?
Chairwoman, Ms. Holmes is the representative that wanted to speak on caregivers representing DC
Oh,
Kin
okay,
Care.
okay.
As I mentioned, she was busy today at the Wilson Building, and she's just been able to hop on. So that was in reference to her being able to still speak on the organization.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's see. Okay. Well, we're finished with the committee reports. Now we have,
Commissioner,
yes.
can I speak for zoning committee briefly? I acknowledge the
Oh,
time.
I'm
Skip me
sorry.
if you need. It's
I
okay.
am so sorry. Go ahead,
No worries.
Commissioner Toby.
Okay.
I
Thank you,
apologize.
Commissioner. It's okay. Noting our time relative to the agenda, I'll be brief. I'm Commissioner Cholby. I'm the chair of ANC 5D Zoning Committee. We have not had much work for a while because the DC Board of Zoning Adjustment has been without quorum, but they've recently regained quorum again. So I'm restating for the public record that ANC 5D Zoning Committee meets on the third Thursday of every month. That means we are meeting this Thursday, July the 16th at 7:30. And right now our agenda consists of a renewal of part of the Union Market PUD, as I understand it. That meeting's going to be chaired by myself and our resident co-chair, Skip Keats. And my fellow commissioners, as well as the public, are welcome to attend if interested. After a matter is heard at the zoning committee meeting, then it comes to one of our whole commission public meetings. So that's the only matter that we have for this month. But the next one will be on the 20th of August. And if you have a matter that you'd like us to consider, we ask that you send it to us by the 13th of August, so 1 week before. I'm aware there's one other constituent that may have a zoning matter that I'll need to confirm with them separately about. But I just wanted to acknowledge, because I know that Mr. Rahul Saud from Eden's wanted to confirm that he was on the agenda this Thursday, and we'll be considering that matter then. Thanks.
Thank you. As concerning any of the committees, does any of the commissioners have any questions for the committee chairs? Okay. I have a question. For the PUD and Union Market, is this ongoing or is this a new PUD?
My understanding is that it's a renewal of something that already exists, but I will report back to this commission internally after the meeting on Thursday, or you're welcome to attend on Thursday. Yeah.
And the meeting on Thursday, is it to what is the meeting on Thursday for again?
Well, the zoning committee has a standing meeting on the third Thursday of every month, but I've canceled them for the last 4 months because of
Right.
there being no business.
Mhm.
So it's the ANC 5D zoning committee meeting, and I'm saying there's one matter on the agenda, and it's
And
the
that's the
matter
PUD.
that Mr. Sood from Eden's brought to me. Yeah.
Okay, and it's an existing PUD.
I can review the documents and confirm with you, but like I said,
Okay.
I can report after.
Okay. And also, can you let me know if there's a community benefits agreement attached to the PUD? Or is it the community room?
I'm sorry,
I'm
could you say that again, please?
Can you just let me know what the community benefit agreement was that was attached to the PUD?
I will look. Yeah, I can look
Okay,
into that.
all right,
Yeah.
thanks. That's all for me. Do we have any
No problem.
questions from any of the attendees? Okay, great. Oh, wait a minute. Ms. Holmes, you have a question for the committees, or is this still about the presentation? Commissioner Soseda Guzman?
I think that's in reference to the presentation. I would say that we allow them to speak after Mr. Lanier speaks on the CVS property update.
Okay, okay. All right, so now we're going to go to commissioner reports, and we're going to start with you, Commissioner Kelby.
Sure. So now I'm speaking in my capacity as the Commissioner for Union Market. My matter to report is that uh, I am aware and I am concerned of ongoing noise enforcement issues. I've previously reported on that as it relates to AI Warehouse and the Mo Apartments. Uh, it's been brought to my attention recently that this is also an issue with another nightclub, um, with very loud bass across the street from another apartment complex in my district. And so I would just want to state for the public record that I'm aware that there are similarities between these cases and that there seems to be an issue with how noise enforcement gets passed between ABCA and DOB and MPD without ever a satisfactory resolution being reached. So I'm working with constituents of mine that have been affected by this. Um, every case is different because it depends on like what licenses that business has, in terms of like what procedural avenues are available to residents or to myself to seek a noise enforcement resolution. But I wanted to say that I know folks are having their sleep disrupted. If you have details about this or questions about avenues available to you in resolving this, please feel free to contact me. Thanks.
Thank you. And 5D02 is myself. Um, Again, with that, I just want to add that APCA did just have a hearing. And I think one of the bills they were having a hearing on was about the noise ordinance. And we're having the same issue with Kick Axe Throw Social. And I believe we still have some time to submit testimony. So if you go under the council's website and look under APCA, we'll find it before we get off today. But if you like to submit testimony, the only way council or the city is going to recognize anything is if we attend a hearing, do a testimony, or write testimony if you're not able to, and submit it that way. And normally when there's a hearing, you have 2 weeks after the hearing to submit that testimony. I want to talk about, um, also we had a couple of shootings here, 2 in 1 week. One was right before the 4th of July, and then we had a shooting during the 4th of July. I was told by Sergeant Leak that Lieutenant Good will be here to give the MPD report. I don't see Lieutenant Good, so I guess Lieutenant Good will get here at some point. but just the shootings in Ivy City, we are concerned about. Also, we are having floodwise workshops for Ward 5. It's at 1900 Capitol Avenue Northeast. We're actually doing one now, and there will be another one, the last one on the 21st of July at 6 p.m. And that address is 1900 Capitol Avenue Northeast. Please reach out to me, and if because you need to register, we need to have a head count, and reach out to me at 5do2@anc.dc.gov if you're interested in attending. And that's just a workshop on educating folks about how our communities flood because of climate change, which is real, and other things. Tonight they're doing emergency preparedness, and then next week they will close it out, and it'll be just uh, some of everything. So if you can come, it's at 6 p.m. next Tuesday. And we have an audit next week. The first meeting of this audit that we're getting ready to endure is next week, and we will make sure we update everybody about that audit. But again,
Is the meeting virtual, Commissioner? The
is
audit
virtual.
meeting?
The meeting is virtual, yes,
Okay,
and it's just
thank you.
it's just the initial onboarding of the auditors, and we will get the agenda. And for those who can't make it, we will make sure that you see what's on the agenda. But that's all for me. Other than one more thing, I just want to repeat that we having cooling pavement put down in Ivy City. And so be mindful that you might see signs, no parking signs, and that's what that is for. That's it for me. Um, 5, 5D, 5D03,
Can you all hear me?
yes.
Oh, great. Okay, thanks. So, just a couple items. During routine testing at Wheatley Education Campus, DGS, which is the DC Department of General Services, whose job it is to maintain DC properties, found 3 environmental risks at Wheatley Elementary. One was evidence of moisture intrusion, which was identified in the first floor girls' bathroom. The second one was evidence of dust identified in the ground floor hallway. And the third is evidence of pest intrusion identified on the second floor. So they're going to be sharing details and test results on the DGS website, and everyone is invited to a public meeting about it on Wednesday, July 22nd at 6 p.m. I have the link to the meeting and I'll put it in the chat. And I also sent it out in our 5D News and Events newsletter. If anyone is not on our newsletter, by the way, and wants to be, please let me know and I'll add you. We forward a lot of mail from our inboxes that DC agencies ask us to forward in a digest email. Plus, we send a large selection of information in single emails. The second item is I've been talking for a while now about our work to help with neighborhood issues between a group that hangs out outside at Florida and Montello most days, and between them and neighbors who have complaints about the group. So we have a plan to use something called story circles to help people relate to each other better there. And woman, Dr. K, her name is Dr. Karen Wilson, Amachu. She's going to present story circles to our August committee of the whole meeting. And we would also like to extend the offer of story circles, not just to the people dealing with these issues, but to our whole commission. If commissioners feel that that's something that we'd like to do, if everyone agrees on that, after discussing it in our August committee of the whole meeting. Story circles are a community building activity where people sitting in a circle share their personal experiences. What it does is it deepens relationships, it builds trust, understanding, and caring between people. It can breach socioeconomic divides because it boils things down to people just being people, and people really hearing people's inner state of being. And it can help people see each other clearly when before they had untrue and preconceived ideas of the other person. So Dr. K, she is the person in our action group who's extremely knowledgeable about the story circles. She's been doing them a very long time, and she'll be presenting the concept, as I said, presenting the concept of the August committee of the whole meeting. If anyone has an interest in participating in story circles, just please contact me. That's it for now. Thanks.
Thank you. 5D04.
Stay ready to talk about computer. Thanks all. Nate, also here with 5D04. Nothing too significant new to report. Last public meeting, we approved a grant for a project called Hopes in the Corner. I've been in consistent but not super extensive communication with the applicant, Melba Davis. We were going to talk this afternoon, but I did not, was unable to connect. So that continues to move forward, though has not been fully implemented yet. We also have an occasional engagement from constituents around, public service requests, and so I work to respond to those. And my email, as put before, around the transportation committee is 5D04@anc.dc.gov, and happy to connect. Thanks.
Thank you. 5D05.
Thank you, Chairwoman. This is Salvador, Commissioner for 5D05, North Trinidad. We've had a series of shots fired throughout different parts of the neighborhood, especially in the north end, whether it's off of 16th Street or Trinidad Avenue. There's been a heightened presence of gun activity in the neighborhood this summer. Luckily, no serious deaths like we've seen last year, which I do praise God for that. But we have requested MPD to make more rounds around the neighborhood. As we know, when vehicles are stationed in certain parts of the neighborhood, it leaves blind spots for other parts of Trinidad and in the PSA. So we have requested more presence to come around. I have not requested more federal presence. I have not requested more National Guard presence. I know some neighbors want to see federal and National Guards here in the neighborhood, but I am against that. They do not make us any safer. If anything, they make it more tense on the block, and that's not the kind of energy that we need. With that being said, there is a community meeting that Sergeant Leak is coordinating tomorrow. Connect with me for more information on that if interested. Also, we do have some alleys that are getting repaved on our end of the neighborhood, so please be on the lookout for that. Just a friendly reminder that the DDOT director has accepted our recommendation that I presented to her regarding the bike lanes on West Virginia Avenue. So that's still a project that's being worked on. And I'll be talking more about Trinidad Day that's happening on August 22nd later in this meeting. So I'll save that time for that. I will like to make a reminder to the commissioners just to let Miss Kimberly to present quickly on DC Kin Care. I think it's a very important service that they're providing to DC residents that are in need. And I'd like to take my last few minutes to recognize a longstanding member of Trinidad that put in a plethora of work in our neighborhood in the past. In reference to Miss Mary Rose Chappelle, she passed away at the age of 98 on July 4th. And I would just like to read this out in respects to her work that she has done in Trinidad. Ms. Chappelle held numerous leadership positions within the community, beginning as an extensive career in community service as a poll worker for the District of Columbia's first voting privilege for U.S. President in 1964. She continued her public involvement as a member of the Royal Family Block Club off of Queen Street, also the Mount Olivet Heights Civic Association, Trinidad Code Enforcement Task Force, Model Cities Program, and served as a community representative on the DC Education Committee. In 1987, Mary Rose was elected ANC, the Advisory Neighborhood Commission for 5B at the time, in single member districts 08 and 07 before it was redistricted, and served a total of 5 terms. That's a total of 10 years. During this period, she served as chair of the commission for 4 years, developed the Clean It and Green It project to encourage the community to take an active role in making a difference in their environment and surroundings, chaired the 5B Education Committee, served as an advocate for recreation parks and service to ensure adequate recreation for the communities in Ward 5, fought against an unusual number of alcoholic establishments in 5, worked diligently to eliminate the use of point-operated phones for illegal purposes, worked closely with the Public Service Commission and the People's Council, testified numerous times on matters affecting the Ward 5 community, and advocated for the approval of the Heck Company Warehouse becoming a historic preservation landmark with its unique and beautiful art decor, and obviously worked diligently with the 5th District Police Department. She became an active parent in the Parent-Teacher Association at Wheatley, and also served as president, secretary, and chaired many other committees within Trinidad. She was one of Trinidad community's strongest advocates and responsible for establishing the Ruth K. Webb Elementary School and completing the Trinidad Recreation Center. I just want to recognize her for all the work that she's done. A lot of us know, especially the commissioners on this Zoom, a lot of the work we do is thankless. I don't do it for a thank you. I'm sure Ms. Chappelle didn't do it for a thank you. We do it because we love our communities, and she put in a lot of work. And this is a historical icon of our neighborhood, and I want to recognize all the work she's done. Her work reflects a lot of my work that I've done in the last 6 years, and I just want to recognize that people like her won't be forgotten. We should appreciate people like her. I would love for y'all to eventually go back on YouTube and replay this video just to rehear a lot about her story. You will note that she did a lot that we're still doing today. Also not even recognizing that some of the stuff that we're trying to accomplish has already been done in the past. Again, she passed away at 98 years young. She did a lot for Trinidad, and I hope that some of us can mimic a percentage of all that she's done for our community. So I'll take the rest of my 30 seconds I have in these 3 minutes as a moment of silence to recognize Ms. Chappelle. Thank you, Chairwoman.
Thank you. And again, that's just an example of how folks are doing this thankless job, and we appreciate the time and effort that has gone into this work. 5D06.
No, for sure. Rest well to Ms. Chappelle. It's important work. So good evening, everyone. My name is Char McCray, Commissioner for ANC 5D06, representing Trinidad, Carver, Langston, the area that cuts across Bladensburg Road and 17th Street Northeast. Hope you all have had a wonderful start to your summer. Thank you for joining us this evening. Over the past month, I've been working closely with Mr. Crawford from the Department of Buildings on a number of property maintenance issues throughout the neighborhood. specifically around the 1500 block of Levis Street Northeast and 1500 Queen Street Northeast. All goes well, that lot should be abated this week. That's what I've been told. So hoping that does happen. So for folks that live over there, please let me know if it does not happen. And sorry, this has been an ongoing concern year after year for you guys. Make sure if you're seeing any issues with DOB, please continue to submit those requests. I'll drop some links in the chat at the end of me speaking. On the transportation front, Nate, I haven't looped you into this yet, but myself and Commissioner Salceda Guzman are on a thread for some residents that want to have a conversation around transitioning some parking in the neighborhood. So we're trying to get a meeting together so we can kind of devise a plan of action, figure out next steps and all of that. So I'll loop you into that thread. I want to throw a plug out there to everyone. The draft RFK campus master plan is available. A lot of us live off of this corridor and 17th Street, Benning Road. We're going to see an influx when the stadium comes about. So I just want people to know you can submit feedback online, you can email comments, testify at the public hearing, but those comments are due August 14th. So if you feel free to email me with your comments if you want me to submit them, but please make sure you make your voice heard and put any feedback in there. I also want to highlight an effort that was a combination with Ward 8 Woods. We had a cleanup on June 27th. We had a roll-off bin. There was a lot that had occurred to kind of get there, but we had a huge successful cleanup, and there will be another one in the fall of this year, so just stay tuned for that. We should have more details by our September ANC meeting. A lot of folks have expressed some concerns in the neighborhood just with different buildings, so I'm trying to coordinate with Council Member Parker's team to kind of get a community blitz, similar to something we did last August, so that we can kind of address those concerns. I know there's a series of issues that can involve DPW, DOB, CSOSA, VDOT, and other district partners. So we're working on that. So more to come soon. And I just want to take a quick note to just let everyone know I do not plan to seek re-election for ANC. It's been a good time serving the community. But if you have any questions, let me know. I will be open and available. And if you all are interested in running, the petition period is open. So just feel free to reach out if you have anything. Thank you.
Thank you. And we don't have 5D07 or 5D08. So next is 5D09.
Hello, everyone. I'm the commissioner for 5D09 from 19 and Bennett to 21st M Street to Langston Golf Course. The only thing I have right now is that Council Parker is having a meeting tomorrow from 2 to 3 at Langston Golf Course. So if you're free or you can attend, you could come out and you can address certain concerns that you have with him. So that's the information right now that I have. But that's it for right now.
Thank you. Thank you all commissioners for giving your reports. And does any attendees have any questions for any of the commissioners? If not, we can move on to the public safety report. I'm aware that Lieutenant Good is in the room, in the actual room. So we will be hearing from Lieutenant Good.
Oh.
Thank you.
Let me back up. So, good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Yes. Everyone can hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes, ma'am.
So good evening, everybody. I did my due diligence. I did run a lot of stats. Majority of my stats did come from 506 versus what I ran from 507. And by that, I'm just separating them by the PSAs because, as you all know, each lieutenant is assigned a patrol service area. However, after hearing Commissioner 5D09. I understand that she has 19th and Bennett Place Northeast and Langston, which would push over into 507. So I do have some stats from 507, but not in full detail how I do for 506. First and foremost, I don't know if a lot of you all know this about me, but I am born and raised in Trinidad. My great grandmother lived there at 1252 Penn Street Northeast. Her name was Ada Jones. That's my maiden name, and that's the family that I come from. My uncle still lives at 1254, and I have some family on Rom and Sims. I'm actually familiar with Miss Mary Rose because when I went to Ruth K. Webb, we would walk past Queen Street where she actually lived at, and she used to be out there when we went to summer camp at Children's, the Rec, when I had a pool years ago. And yeah, so may she do rest in peace. I know besides her and Miss Westry, who lived at 1250, who passed at 97, my great grandmother is still alive, but she does not currently reside in Trinidad anymore. She lives with my uncle. So a few of the greats are leaving. But with that being said, as far as like the felonies, we could just get straight into it. 506 did not have any homicides to report. I do know that we did have the sounds of gunshots that actually was taken as a reckless endangerment that happened off Montello. That yielded in about 47 rounds that were collected with property damage to vehicles, but no injuries to life or anything reside in that. I did speak with 5EDDU, which is our detective unit. We have a really great relationship with them, especially on the midnight tour, because that is the tour that I work. So we do work a lot together to identify bolos or just try to pick up on concerns and trends, which comes to the Trinidad box that we refer to as for our overtime. We always try to look and see how we can redeploy them, move them around, see if the lower half works versus the upper half. And these last few 2 weeks, we did have a lot of noise at night that's been stemming from West Virginia Avenue and Mount Olivet. They did have a visual that turned into a very loud disturbing situation where we did have to intervene, and I was on that scene. So we did push our overtime unit down to that area as well. Moving into the ADWs, the only difference that we did have, I put it up to 1 ADW that occurred, and this report is for the last 30 days because I did speak on the last ANC, and Lieutenant Otero did as well. But this one was at 1846 Providence Street on July 5th at 0900 hours. This one was not very straight cut and dry. V1 claimed that she was just sitting in a vehicle and fireworks rung out, but then she sustained an injury to her back. She did not have an injury consistent with a gunshot wound, but the vehicle did. So that one, she didn't even seek medical attention. She stayed on the scene and went on. But we still treat it as an ADW, and so we can investigate what further can come from that. We also did have a robbery. As far as our robberies, when it comes to 506, we've had 1 robbery gun out of the last 30 days, and I was on scene for that one. That one was at 1601 Trinidad Avenue Northeast. This one was like at 3 in the morning where 3 individual males came from Virginia, and they decided to go to the Exxon on Florida Avenue at the bottom of Trinidad to go sell shoes in the morning. It's like 2 in the morning. The individuals on scene decided to then rob them of the money. I believe they had like $2,000 in their pocket. Once they were robbed at gunpoint, the victims decided to chase the car down Trinidad Avenue, where the car lost control. Ended up striking a house on 1601 Trinidad Avenue Northeast. The suspects exited and they shot 1 round at the victim's car. No one was injured from that. However, they left their vehicle on scene. We were able to identify them, and I do know that crime suppression is going to follow up with a warrant with that. So that should be closed out relatively soon. Other than that, with our Part 1 offenses, 506 is actually really doing good out of all the PSAs. I'm going to gloat about that because we have our days, right? I do understand we have a lot of nuisances, and I am working with, I think his name is Hazel from DBH. We're working on, I heard you all mention the rat issue. I've actually spoke to them about that because we have done that in other parts of 5D, and they did say they were going to look into that. With the abandoned properties and the vacant properties, we're looking into that as well too. DBH assured me that they do have a list, especially on Sims Place, these residents, that they're familiar with, but I did tell them with the meeting tomorrow, I will personally go in the block just to make sure we're all on the same page so that we're just not sending these emails without actually just having some substance behind it, if that makes sense. And it's not to disrespect anyone, but we get a lot of emails back and forth with a lot of agencies. So I just want to make sure we're actually closing in on something versus just always bringing up things. On our 93 report, which is our crime report, the only thing that did come up at 506 again was a motor vehicle theft. And in both of these motor vehicle thefts, someone did enter into their vehicle. The vehicles were unlocked. I don't know if that's something that we can speak to the ANCs about, as I'm sitting in front of you all. I think, and this is my opinion, that some people have the consensus that they want to keep their doors unlocked so that it prevents their windows being bust or broken into, like their vehicle, which just creates a thing where it's like, what do we do if we're not securing our vehicles and we're locking them, but we also don't want to pay $200 every time to get our window replaced? So I do know Sergeant Leak was working on that to get some flyers out to discuss that and just see where we're going at with that. Again, these are happening. We can't pinpoint it happening on the midnight tour because with both of these motor vehicle thefts, they were reported at 9 o'clock in the morning. And they last saw their vehicle around 7 p.m. So it's a broad range for us to know. We are doing our best. We are doing our best in the honest, transparent truth is our manpower is getting ridiculously low. I brought this up last time that we do have an operation that is targeted throughout the district in 5D. One is in Noma, but majority of them are at the wharf in the Navy Yard, where every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we are, for lack of better words, supervising juveniles. With that being said, it requires for us to staff at least 21 to 25 members a day from the 5th district on all 3 shifts. To give you some numbers, on my shift on midnights, I need 25 people to be in the district. So when I come to work, and like I have to watch tonight, the last few nights, my roll call sergeant has told me that he's had 8 people show in roll call. 8 people when our minimum manpower is 25. What do? We try to hold over the shift before us. We're just trying to pull a lot out of our hat. Yes, that's something that people don't always want to hear, and I do understand that. However, I'm not a wizard, and I'm not going to pitch that we are just going to make things happen all the time, because sometimes it's not feasible when we're trying to improve our own quality of life with our officers and get people to come to work and do the work. So with that being said, I did hear Commissioner not be in favor of the federal task force. With that, I do want to say we just don't have the National Guard deployed in the 5th district at all. Well, no, let me take that back. We have them at Noma Metro. They are there. As far as in 506 and even 507, the only time you would see the National Guard or you would see federal task force agents if they were with our 5th district crime suppression team, and with them they go out and do specific I don't want to call it like stings, but they do specific operations where they know that most likely they're going after a person who might have a firearm or some type of drug related offense. With that too, yesterday I had a very long conversation with a resident in 506. She lives on Sims. She brought up concerns about Montello Deli. I don't know if you all are aware of this, but she did bring up that there could be some type of drug, or she is sure that there is some type of drug operation going out of that. With that being said, I did forward that to NSID, which is our narcotics unit. I'm not sure if you all are familiar. A few years ago when I was here as a sergeant in 2022, we had a very bad issue with Rom Street. There were lots of violence and guns and drugs going on in 1100 block of Rom Street when I first got here, which was a very sensitive topic for me because even 2 months before I came here, my brother was killed in that very block. So we did an operation, and that operation did take some time. It took almost up to a year, but now everyone in that block has been placed under arrest, and they are still held, and they are still going forward with their trials. So I do know that things sometimes do not happen overnight. They sometimes don't happen in a week, a month, maybe 2, 3 months, but doesn't mean that we are not aware of this and we're not gonna address it as it comes to the near future. ANC Commissioner 9, I did hear you speak about 19th and Benton in that corridor. I do understand that there was a shooting that occurred there 2 weeks ago in Rosedale. They have a meeting tonight at 7 p.m. as well. So I'm sure that the 507 lieutenant and their captain will be bringing that up. I do know briefly from what I do know that it was one of the first events that was supposed to be held for the juveniles, like a gun-free type of thing. They have been doing that over the city where they are having sanctioned events for them to be able to go to. With that, I do know one arrest was made, and I did speak to the officer the other day, and it is getting papered. And they did get a firearm out of his book bag. So that's all I do have on that if someone brings that up. Does anybody have anything for me? No, I've said a lot.
You touched on one of the questions that Skip Keith asked. Who would be the lieutenant that he contacts for PSA 507?
So it was Lieutenant Keith Bird, but now he is the crime suppression lieutenant. With that being said, I believe that it will be Lieutenant Brian Brown. However, Captain Philippe F. Simic would be the person to let you know who officially they're going to delegate to be the PSA 507 lieutenant.
Thank you.
Problem.
Do we have any more questions for the lieutenant from the commissioners?
I have a question. It was just another shooting on Rosedale. Do you have any updates on that with the young man who was 13 years old died?
No, I do not.
Okay. Well, would you be able to get us that information?
Yeah, sure. I can look into it.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Lieutenant Good, thanks for coming out tonight. I will say this is one of the best reports that we've had in a very long time.
Okay.
So it's great to see that we don't have to request a captain, we don't have to request a commander. We can just get a good officer to come and visit us and actually give us the real 411. So I just want to say thank you for that because it's rare. So,
well, I mean, I just got back to 5B, so.
Well, we appreciate you being home.
Yeah.
With that being said, I am curious to know, being that we've had an increase of shootings and of shots fired, particularly in 06. One, just reiterate when you're having any PSA meetings for 506, and two, you mentioned that I believe the first district is seeing some of our officers over there to manage the war. Is that correct?
No, so yeah, they're taking our 5th district members and sending them to other districts.
To other districts, not just the wharf.
The wharf, the Navy Yard, Noma is one,
For the
Street
curfew
is one.
zones.
Yep.
For the curfew
Yeah,
zones.
and we just had one. I don't know if you all were aware. It was, well, this was the drug-free zone. It just ended on Monday, but it encompassed Corcoran, Gallaudet, Providence, Mount Olivet. That one just ended. But we do have juvenile zones in the 5th district, but they're only in Noma. That's where they believe we see them at.
Do we know, in terms of position of power and rank, who's making these decisions in MPD?
For the zones?
No.
Oh.
To move officers from the 5th district to different parts of the city.
Council and the chief.
Is the council and the chief?
Yes.
Okay, no, because this is the information that we didn't know, and also residents need to know, so they can actually voice their concerns that, hey, we barely have officers, don't take them to go babysit children.
Yeah, council and the chief. I think, and this is just my opinion, but I do believe that this will be for the entire summer, and it may push to the fall, and it may push to the winter. I think our issue with juveniles will not be a short thing. I think it will be a long-term thing, so.
I understand. And follow-up question. I read in a couple news articles when there was an incident of fireworks going off at Alethea Tanner Park in another part of Ward 5. The 5th district covers that area. The response was that the 5th district would bring more police through that area. I was kind of disheartened to hear that, just because I understand perception is different for different folks. Different class of people have different perception of violence. I know a lot of folks in Trinidad are numb to the violence. I know a lot of our area is getting gentrified, and a lot of those new neighbors that are gentrifying our neighborhoods are not used to the realities that we're facing in the trenches. But it's sad to hear that fireworks going off will result in higher police presence in the area compared to us in Trinidad that are literally hearing gunshots are not making us feel that there is a strong presence of
So
police
can I tell you
officers.
something while all news is fake news most
Yes.
of the time? I actually am assigned that investigation where the complaint was in Althea Park that people were shooting, juveniles were shooting fireworks at people, and that MPD took over 30 minutes to respond and no one came out. I just spoke with the person who made that complaint. And when I looked in our CAD system that night, we were able to send one person and they responded within 11 minutes. And they handled 5 different locations in that area on Harry Thomas Way. There is some confusion because the only extra resources is that we have a mountain bike trail. And that mountain bike trail runs from a grand scheme of the PSA 502 in which you are referring to, but it doesn't take special attention from anywhere. If anything, I can assure you as the Midnight Watch Commander, 506 and 507, when there is a little bit of overtime, will be manned, and Saratoga. Edgewood is not even not a priority. I don't want to say that, but it does not prioritize on our list of how we follow things in crime stats. So although you could have, or you read that in that article, that's not true. I'm actually dealing with that investigation.
No,
right now.
I
No, I'm
understood
just telling you, like, you know, so no, that's not true neither. And I don't want to push this narrative that people just believe that, because I have conversations with citizens a lot in the middle of the night, because they're upset, right? They moved to the District of Columbia and they want to see the change. And a lot of people believe that we just don't connect and we're just here to do a job. And like I told her, you know, you're talking to someone that is born and raised from Trinidad. You know, I've had a lot of dealings in Trinidad, whereas it wouldn't have been no way I could have joined the police department, but here I am today. In Trinidad and Ivy City, I know someone brought up the constant beef between Trinidad and Ivy City, and I could tell you to your face, that's been something since I've been a child. Trinidad and Pinnacles have always had something. Bennett and 21st and Trinidad's always had something. And we try to get to the basis of this, right? Besides it being an old wives' tale on why we're beefing, right? And that is something that I've been looking into as a lieutenant here. Like, what is the actual beef? Because the beef has been deceased from years ago. So we're just picking it up. But we're not going to play into a narrative. And I speak to my other lieutenants that other areas, because they're gentrified better, or they look better, or they have a Trader Joe's, that it is that they should get special attention or better attention, right? Like, I know that I was just informed that the Safeway is gone, and I just think that, and I might be going off a tangent, but I find that unacceptable because my aunt and uncle still live in Trinidad and they shop at Safeway. So where are they going to go shop? They got to come here and shop at Trader Joe's, pay 25 cents for a bag, have nowhere to park in the garage. Like, and I get that DC wants to go to a new way of life and living, and I'm not against that, right? But we're not just going to fall at the wayside with other areas. And that's just how I feel. And maybe, you know, a lot of people don't want to hear that opinion, but, you know,
a lot
I
of
take
people
pride in
don't.
it.
A lot of people don't, especially the new people coming in, these folks that moved in the last 5-10 years.
But I don't want to discredit them,
Yeah.
right? Because
No,
you live somewhere, you pay your money, you should not hear sounds of gunshots in the middle of the night, or, you know, just people out, just, you know, it's a, yeah.
How can folks like us in these positions that pretty much get the front lines of all the smoke from these newer residents or from these heavily concerned residents, how can we reassure them that work is being done? I was just speaking to someone that told me, oh, I lived on West Virginia and Mount Olivet back in 2017, and it was much, much worse, and now it's much, much better. But someone that just moved in the last year, somehow they think everything's deteriorating.
Yeah.
So how can we counteract when folks like us are doing good work and we see the improvement, but others just don't?
I mean, they can always come take a ride along with me. I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, I know Commissioner Rhodes brought it up earlier too, like the attendance in this community, in these meetings, right? Because tomorrow I have another one, and I was kind of confused, not confused, I'm coming, but I was confused because I know the ANC one is today, but then, so I don't know if people are like calling the meetings, kind of want to discuss that.
Some neighbors are very siloed. They don't want to join community. They want to create their own community, and that's an example of that. They want to join their own thing.
Right. So I wasn't sure, but I am going to take time out of my schedule to attend because, you know, I am mandated to attend the ANC and the 506 one. But people have to be present. You know, you can believe anything is happening just because you hear it in your resident, but if you really don't know the bones to the roots to what's going on, I don't know, you just can't be too quick to throw rocks. And I don't know how to answer that in a different way besides you got free time today, come do a ride along, or you want to come to a meeting, come really talk. We can get these agencies out. Like, it's not just NPD, right? I can come get DC Fence out. We can get DVH, Department of Buildings. It's a whole bunch of us, DPR, DOES, Metro, whoever we need to get, just so that, you know, you can get that exposure to see, because everything is just not a quick fix or just an easy answer. And because you don't get the answer you particularly want, you just believe that things are not being done or that everything is growing pains. I don't think that's the truth.
Well, I want to appreciate you for your time, and Chairwoman, thank you for letting us speak a little bit extra because we are on recess next month. We don't meet next month.
Okay.
And the summer's still going, so I'm sure a lot of residents wanted to hear what you said, and it was very valuable.
Thank you so much. And we're running a little behind, but Lacey Davis, are you still
You
here?
have that information, right?
I've just promoted Mr. Davis.
Yes,
Apologies.
thank you. Thank you.
Stand up for a minute.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, Mr. Davis.
Hello.
We're ready. We're ready for
Oh,
you.
all right. I don't have much tonight. I'm currently at a fire. I just got three things. The Office of Attorney General, for residents that are experiencing landlord or consumer issues, can contact them for free assistance are being prioritized by the office. The hotline is 202-442-9828, or you can visit the Office of Attorney General.dc.gov complaint/complaint, which you could, all the links are in the chat. I have one more thing. There is a Medicaid Advisory Board commission getting put together. So if you are a caretaker, if you're interested in being a part of the Medicaid Advisory Committee or Beneficiary Advisory Council, please do so. The links is in the chat as well. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. And Adriana Lovelace from Councilmember Parker's office is next.
Hi, everybody. I hope you all are having a good summer so far. I only have two short announcements. The council is going on recess from July 15th to September 15th. And then lastly, tomorrow we're having a Carver Langston Town Hall meeting. It is at the Langston Golf Course Clubhouse. It's from 2 to 3 p.m. And we'll be joined by DPR, DPW, DMPED, and National Lakes Trust. And that's all I had.
All right, well, that was short. Thanks for your reports, Lieutenant Good.
Can I?
And do we have any questions from the commissioners? For
Yeah,
Mr.
just
for
to
Adriana.
Andriana, question for you. The meeting tomorrow, since it's during the day, have you all made any headway on it being virtual potentially, or is it just solely in person?
It will be live streamed on our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Oh, bet. Thank you. I'll let folks know. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And it'll be streamed, but no one will be able to participate. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So that's it for standing presentations. We have requested presentations. Right. Oh, before you leave, do we have any questions from the attendees? Anyone in the audience have questions for the mayor's office, the council member's office? Okay. Do we have anything in Q&A other than?
We
Okay,
do have one question in the Q&A, asking if there are current plans regarding the Maryland Avenue entrance reopening for the National Arboretum.
I'm not sure who that question would be. I guess it would be for you, Adriana.
I think the question is for Eleanor Holm Norton's office.
Oh, well, yeah, because the Arboretum is National Park Service.
She's helped with that exact issue before, so I would direct that question to her office.
Okay. All right, well, next is Philip Lanier, East Bank Properties. You have 5 minutes to present and 5 minutes for questions. Thank you for being here, and we're ready to hear your presentation.
Thank you. It's nice to be invited to the meeting. And before I talk about our site, I think I said this the last time you invited me. It's really a pleasure to watch all of you, interact together. You clearly have a very committed community and are good at what you do. Uh, I think there were some questions around the activity and the future plans for our site at 845 Bladensburg Road, which used to house the former CVS there. And I gave an update on that, I believe, in February or March of this year. I can't remember exactly the last time I was in front of you all. I don't have a comprehensive report, but I was asked to join this summer and give an update. We have leased the property. We've also, in the process, cleaned up our partnership. So I'm in complete control of the site and can answer all of your questions, hopefully to your satisfaction. I can't comment explicitly on the tenant that's moving in because they haven't finished their work, and they've asked me to withhold, too much information until they can issue their own press release. But the use is not going to be a retail use, to my understanding, the way the CVS was before. None of the tenants that approached us over the course of this year, and there were 3 or 4, were offering anything that was much different, to be honest. The reason that I picked this tenant is because they were more flexible on their term and gave us more ability to control how the site would evolve over the next 10 years. And I didn't want to just lock away the site for a singular use for a 15-year period and forget about it. The use will be predominantly on a logistics side, not on a retail side. The good news I have for the community, though, is it is an engaged party. They do have office that deal with community engagement. Members of your committee have asked me in the past if there's a way to work on the site, work with the tenant, see if you can have community activations there. There is, to my understanding, will be a representative for you to communicate with for those questions that hopefully will do a better job of it than the CVS team did when they were on the site. And I will always be here to interact with you as well and help facilitate. Th that's the bulk of the information I have right now. I know it's not spectacularly detailed. In terms of when will the site be finished and open, I don't have a firm date, but my expectation is before September, or maybe October, somewhere around then. So 3 to 4 months is the max. That's my understanding. That's the best that I can give you all.
Thank you, Mr. Lanier. Do we have any questions from the commission?
Yes. Thank you so much for coming out. Really appreciate you communicating everything that you can at the time. Just a quick question. I know a lot of residents do park there. And I know this could be a sticky matter, but is there a way, I know you said the September timeframe, can you give any kind of clarity around will folks get towed? What will be the process in place there? Because I know people have been parking there. I know it's a private lot. want to get some clarity for folks that do leave their vehicles there, just so that they know what will happen in the upcoming months. Any information you
Yeah,
can provide.
yeah. I'm not the authority here, so I can only give you my educated opinion. At the moment, I have received no complaints. So as far as I know, there are no plans in the works at the moment to address anybody that's parking on the site. Should that become an issue, I'm pretty sure that somebody would contact me and ask. In terms of what is the future state of affairs, most likely there will be signage put up before any action takes place. So you should have plenty of warning. That would be my hope. And I can check, right, and ask, and then communicate an answer to you directly to see if I can find more information on that. But you have to make sure you want me to, because sometimes if you don't ask, no one stops you. If I ask, then there may be an action and response. So kind of write to me offline and ask me what you'd like me to do, and I'll follow your guidance.
No, that sounds good. That sounds good. We'll play it by ear, because I get that sentiment. And just one other kind of question. Just if community wanted to use the space, could we reach out to you to get that point of contact for that, whatever business is coming there? We are hearing that it's going to be an Amazon. I know you can't say that necessarily.
I can't comment on it, but
yeah, no,
I know that
you can't
there have been
comment.
comments out in the community, so I won't deny it either. I have spoken with somebody there that is going to be, so to speak, on the community representation team. I spoke with him as early as this morning. He's local. So ultimately, I suspect that I would put you directly in touch with that individual. Until they're ready to meet with the community, however, you can just reach out to me directly.
Okay, no, perfect. And one last question. Will there be any jobs, any hiring events that this business will bring to the area?
I suspect the answer is yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop asking questions now.
Yeah, I expect the answer yes. And I also expect that this is, I don't know if it's a 24-hour operation, but it is not 9 to 5. So that would lead, in my opinion, to more jobs because it's more shifts.
And I'm seeing a lot of questions from Commissioner G. Campbell. Commissioner, would you like to come off mute and ask your questions?
I really don't have. I just was putting the information inside the chat that we was told that it was going to become an Amazon hub station, which is something that we did not need in our community because we need a pharmacy, we need a grocery store. But I mean, unfortunately, the deal has already been made. I wish that the owner, if that was you, would have be able to engage with the community to ask what we wanted, what we would have preferred in the community versus that, but. Unfortunately, we didn't have a say in it, and it's not our property. But that was something that this community definitely did not need. But it's not our property. I made that decision.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Commissioner Campbell. I totally agree. And while I didn't initially reach out, your ANC team did reach out to me and actually did express things like that. I did make every effort to find something that was more community engaging. There were just no tenants in the market that wanted the space that provided that service. That's why the CVS closed. They just. I'm not speaking to your demand, but for some reason it wasn't working for them, and I didn't have any other tenants that came in behind them. The only
thing I say, I know retail was.
Yeah, it was for that reason that I picked this tenant. Like I said, because they were not locking away a more productive use for 15 years. I have the opportunity to revisit this in the future if the market changes.
Well, hopefully, I mean, what I was saying is, I know you were saying it wasn't a retail. A lot of us was thinking it could have been a drive-through pharmacy. It could have been anything versus an Amazon hub. But again, it's your location. You get to decide what you wanted to do and who came to you. But again, it's what the community actually needs versus what y'all want to give us. So that's my issue with that. Again, if y'all would at least came in the community to engage with us at first, because I do know that you did got in contact with Commissioner McCray like some months ago. So I do know that, but all this was taking place before y'all even had engaged in any conversation because we found out through the candidates that was running for seats. So that's how she was able to reach out to you. But again, we would have preferred something else. If maybe if somebody would have tried more harder, because again, we could have had a drive-through pharmacy. But again, it's not my property, but that was just my opinion. And a lot of residents would have preferred that too. But that's all I have to say. Thank you.
I'm here to listen, and that's why I keep showing up, because I want to be open to what the community needs, but I'm not a magician. I can't provide something that doesn't as well want to come. And so I could not make it happen. I only had so much time to make a decision.
And there was a question, what is an Amazon hub?
It's not a
Amazon
question that I
Hub is
can answer.
allegedly, well, he can't answer it. Allegedly, an Amazon Hub is when packages and stuff will be stored steady. We go into like the lockers inside the Safeway and at the 7-Eleven, we'll be able to go there to pick up package and stuff like that, and they will hold package for other residents. Something, again, we don't need. But that's all I have to say.
And we don't know for sure if this is going to be an Amazon hub. Do we know for sure?
Most likely it is, but he can't honestly say, so I understand, because he probably had that, thing between the person who has the space now. But definitely we was told that's exactly what that's gonna be. So,
and also the question was asked, does an Amazon hub have to be in that whole entire space? Are they supplying a service for the entire city? Or because we have hubs like lockers at Whole Foods and different grocery stores, different stores. So would this be a different type of hub, or, well, again, all right, can't talk about it. So
Again, I can't speak to that variety as a fact, but the tenant has rights to the entire property, so it is their decision. The tenant, however, is one that I've worked with in the past, is always very communicative, always open to ideas and innovation. And as they use and enjoy the site, if it turns out that there is additional space where we could do something else, and in that additional space, that something else was something positive for the community, I can ask those questions. I can try to make those deals. I can't promise anything, but that level of curiosity is something that I take to heart, and I'll do my best.
okay, we appreciate it. And
Yeah.
if possible, would you have them come to the commission?
Yes,
And
if possible, I can do that. Yep.
you can establish some kind of agreement, whether it's a community benefit agreement or just some kind of agreement and compromise. Because again, like Commissioner G. Campbell said, there's something that's not wanted in our communities. So if the community wants it, it'll do well. If the community don't want it, we don't know how well it will go. So we would like for the tenant to come to the commission and have a discussion with the public.
Yep, I completely understand. As I mentioned in my opening comments, I'm a fan of engaged ANC communities. I really enjoy how engaged you all are, and I'm happy that I have some there to talk to. So no promises, but it will be my pleasure to make the effort to try to put you all together and impress upon them that community engagement is a plus.
Thank you. Thank
Yep.
you. Do we have any more questions for Mr. Lanier from the commissioners or the public?
Yeah, I had my hand raised. Just a quick question.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're fine. Do we expect any different, not different, I'm sorry, do we expect any changes to infrastructure at that space? Based on the agreements that you already have with this new tenant?
I'm not aware of any changes to infrastructure. Is there anything specific you have a concern
No,
about
I
that
don't
I
know,
could
because
address?
if it lands to what the consensus might be leading towards, our understanding of the tenant, Are they adding more potential storage facilities? Are they taking away parking? I'm assuming if it is some sort of hub, that there would be a greater security presence of some kind there to keep the space safe and free of any criminal activity. So just curious if that was in the agreement or anything like that.
So there has at no point been a request to increase the size of the building on the site. It was almost exactly the size that they wanted to enjoy. Um, if they came to the decision they wanted to have something larger, there would be a process to go through. They couldn't just as of right, add a building. No request has been made at this point. I do expect that they will be making sure there's sufficient lighting and security so that there is no vagrancy or vandalism or any of the activity that caused some concerns in the last year. So I do think that that will be a positive, but I don't think that you will notice a massive infrastructure shift or change. Nobody's asked me for any permission.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yep.
Thank you. Are there any more questions from the commission and from the audience? Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Lanier, for your time and for the conversation. That's all I can say.
You got it. I did my best, and I look forward to
That's
coming
cool.
back in the near future.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
Okay, got it. Bye.
Now we have time for Kimberly Holmes. Are we doing Kimberly Holmes?
Yeah, we're just promoting that.
Okay, thanks.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Chair. And thank you, ANC commissioners. My name is Kimberly Holmes, and I am a community board member of DC Kin Care Alliance. First of all, I want to let you guys know that today at the Wilson Building, Councilmember Parker and others have now deemed September as the month of kinship month. So if anyone yes. So it's now official. I'm going to give you quickly some information that in September, and if I can, I'm going to put my information and Miss Marlene information's in there so we can give you guys the update for the community event in September that's coming up. But just a little bit about DC Kin Care. DC Kin Care is a nonprofit organization that does legal services that now has three parts. It has kinship, it now has adoption, and it has a program now that help residents who may be at fear for ICE. And so they also help those. That's a new program. So if any residents who may be at fear ICE, they now have legal services to help them navigate their children's concerns, like put things into play for that. And I can also send that information over for more details. Just to show you, I know you can't really see it, but we do have our new 2026 resource guide that will be very resourceful for all constituents in all wards, which gives all information of their rights, services that are out there. And what I'll do in the chat, if anyone is on here that is in a custody of a child, may it be a child, you can even live in a different state, but the child is a local resident, and or you are a resident of DC and you have care of someone else's, but they're your relatives. They will help with legal services, giving you all the information, getting you intact with the documentations you need, even the funding that is now going to be extended to, that has already been extended to caregivers, but it's now got increased, which is a subsidy that is also available. We do have a community board, and we want to encourage the community in all wards to start linking their caregivers who don't know, right, the new things that we have going on, and link them in, because it takes a village to raise that child. And so I just want to thank you, Chair. I don't want to take too much of your time. If I can leave the hotline, DC Ken Cares hotline, in the in the chat, as well as the email address, my email address, and Ms. Marilyn, who is the overseer for the community board. Also, if you guys want to invite me to do one-on-ones at your community events, we do tabling, but we want to basically get the word out there. And I just thank you guys for your time. It takes a village to raise a child, and that's why I'm so grateful that Commissioner Gomez seen the importance of educating and letting our residents know that, hey, we're here for you. If you have any questions, Chair, if you allow time, I do have time for it. If not, my email and everything will be in the chat. But yes, we have
No.
September.
Yes, this is beautiful, and I'm really glad that you went to the council and handled your business.
Oh,
Mhm.
it wasn't just me. It's a team, you know.
I
Um,
will, however you want to put it. Look, when we need services, we need services,
yes.
and we need folks to champion to make sure that these services are put in place. So, would you be able to put all your information
Mhm.
in the chat? And also, does any of the commissioners have any questions for Ms. Holmes? Any of the commissioners?
And you can use my email, so that way if you need me to send some brochure, some information, because commissioners, I'm telling you, I have a treasure. This is a treasure that you guys can help your constituents to navigate, especially those caregivers that are in your community
Yeah.
now, on those resources. So I just thank you. And it's Parker, it's your ward that
Yeah.
actually continued, what we started in 2019. So I just want to give a shout out
Yeah.
to council member, and we want to keep this momentum, because our children is our future, right?
Yeah.
And I thank
That's it.
each and every caregiver, grandparent that may be on here. Your voices are heard, and we just want to let you know that we are out here for you.
That's
Thank you for
amazing.
your
And
time.
our council member is the best council member in the world.
Thank you,
Um,
Kimberly. We appreciate
yes,
you coming
thank you
out.
so much. Do we have any questions from the public for Ms. Holmes before she leaves?
I'm going to put the email, the
Mhm.
website, the hotline, my
Okay.
email address, and another point of contact. So ANCs, please reach out to me so I can send you the literature, get it
Mhm.
shipped out to you. Also, I can help with connecting the community. We can identify those, so
Yep.
we can just work together.
All
Chair,
right.
you're
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank
you.
you, all
Thank
you
you, Ms.
guys. Thank you,
Holmes.
the community of 5D.
Yes, we're the
Thank
best
you.
mission in the world. Thank you so much.
That's my
Um,
favorite colleague.
yes. Okay, so now we have our consent calendar that we have to tackle right now, which is the admin consultant timesheet is their time is $378. And for the communication consultant timesheet is $270. I move that we approve these timesheets for our admin and our communication consultant. Can I get a second?
Second.
And Commissioner Chobe, would you mind doing a roll call?
Yeah, are there any questions or discussion before I do a roll call on consent calendar? Okay, hearing none. Um, consent calendars for those two timesheets, and we have moved and seconded. So 5D01, I vote aye. 5D02,
Aye.
5D03,
Aye.
5D04,
Aye.
5D05,
Aye.
5D06,
Aye.
and 5D09.
Aye.
Okay, consent calendar passes unanimous.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Chobe. And if there's nothing else that we need a secretary for, I think Commissioner Chobe need to go to bed.
I'm
'Cause
just a little bit sick, so unless there's
it's like
anything else
a
anyone
lot
needs me
sick.
for,
Do you need a motion for that? I second that motion.
Thank you.
I'm handing secretary duties to our
Yes.
chair. If there's anything else anyone, commissioner or resident needs me for, you can feel free to email me action items after the meeting. Good night, y'all.
Night, night.
Thank you.
Good night. Sleep good.
Chair, so I would note that we are about 18 minutes behind on the agenda and we have 6 items for vote. So just for the
All
public's
right.
attention.
Okay. So let's start with the historian. That'll be our first one. Okay, so do you want to make that motion, Commissioner Soseda Guzman?
Sure, I'll make the motion and we can open up for discussion.
Okay.
I move that we approve the received invoice for $300 from our historian Jeremiah Montague. Can I get a second on this motion?
Second.
Second by Commissioner G. Campbell. We'll open up a 3-minute discussion. I believe Mr. Montague's concerns that were brought up earlier during our amendment of the agenda was in regards to the delay in his receivable of payment for work. We are all under the understanding that he must complete the work in order to receive final payments. I believe as of today, since we already have a date selected for Ivy City, Andy, remind me the date again?
July 23rd.
July 23rd at 12 p.m. We still need to finalize an option for our brothers and sisters in Carver Langston. Commissioner G. Campbell, we can do this in person or we can hold this virtually. The only thing is that we have to give notice to the public 7 days in advance. That's what's requested to finalize this project before we can start publishing this material online.
Okay. That's fine with me.
We can hold it virtually for Carver Langston?
Say it again.
Or would you prefer it to be virtually or in person for Carver Langston?
I would say we can do in person.
Do you have a preferred date for these Thursdays, Tuesdays?
Thursday would be fine.
Okay. I'll follow up with you to see if we can have something set for Thursday, July 30th.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Believe Mr. Montague also sent a second invoice from him regarding printing materials for $264. I will ask that the commission actually takes this into account for a potential vote for him to get reimbursed for these funds, as he did produce materials for his presentations himself.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Are these printed materials something that you saw during your presentation, or it's for the upcoming presentations? Or are we all aware of what these printed materials are?
These are materials that he's already shared with us in past presentations, and he had them physically present at the Trinidad presentation last week.
If you give me a moment, I can share my screen with the photo he included.
No,
He did.
I understand the photo. It says printed materials. This is just a standpoint of making sure. I mean, was it printed? A photo doesn't show that it was printed. That's all I'm confirming is that it was printed.
It's a photo.
Photo does show that it's printed, Commissioner McCray.
It's a photo
Okay.
that was included with the invoice showing the materials themselves.
It's not renderings
Yeah.
or digital copies. It's actual photos of the material he printed.
Here,
All right.
I'm just pulling them up now.
And the invoice total for $264. So we have two invoices here for reimbursement, one for service and one for print material. The service is dated June 18th, as well as the printed material for $264. And I believe we have a screen share of what he purchased and printed.
Yeah, so this is the one and the two photos that he included with the invoice showing the materials that he printed.
Are there any other questions or comments on the material itself? Not to rush these motions, I'm just asking. Okay, Chairwoman, I placed the first motion on the floor. I think that's a discussion in regards to his initial invoice. I'm
Okay.
welcome to place another motion regarding the reimbursement of print materials, but it was seconded by Commissioner G. Campbell, was it? It was two people that
I
seconded.
missed that.
I would say G. Campbell seconded it. If you want, I can do a roll call for the vote.
Feel free to do a roll call.
Sure, 5D01 absent, 5D02,
Yes.
5D03,
Yes.
5D04,
Yes.
5D05, yes, 5D06.
Can you repeat the motion real quick?
Motion is to pay for the initial invoice for service rendered for our June Trinidad presentation. That's the first motion.
All right, yes.
5D09.
Aye.
Okay, that motion carries, Chairwoman. I'll make a second
Thank you.
motion in regards to his request for reimbursement of print material for $264. I move that we reimburse our historian for $264 for material printed for presentations held last month and currently scheduled for this month. Can I get a second on this motion?
Second.
Second by Commissioner G. Campbell. Discussion, 3 minutes. Anyone have questions or comments?
Are these materials gonna be are they for the community, like they're held within the community? So community members that can't make it can also access these?
He's holding them right now as he's still presenting, but he's gonna render them to us once he's completed with his presentation portion. So I guess after this month, they should be here in the community room. Were there any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, discussion's over. I'll go back to the motion. It was seconded by Commissioner G. Campbell. 5D01 is absent, 5D02,
Yes.
5D03,
Yes.
5D04,
Yes.
5D05, yes, 5D06,
Abstain.
and 5D09.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you all. Okay. We have another voting action, a resolution about that we will discuss against the National Guard's presence. Commissioner Soseda Guzman, this one is yours too.
Yes, thank you. Just quickly, I want to make a motion. This isn't me stating it, but I just want to make a motion for ANC 5D to have a formal proposal, not proposal, I'm sorry, a formal resolution in regards to our request to not have the National Guard present in our neighborhoods. We understand, as Lieutenant Good mentioned earlier in this call, that there is a presence at the Noma Gallaudet metro station. And as we all know, the National Guard does travel by foot, and they do come into certain parts of areas that they're designated to, which includes Union Market, from my understanding from Commissioner Cholby. We do not want them in our neighborhoods, and we do not want them to be fear-mongering our residents. We do want safer streets, we do want calmer streets, but bringing in soldiers to do that is not the way. It is still something that can be done by community if we come together more than we have in the past. And I believe by stating that we vote on this request tonight, we can have something formally written within the summer, and we can approve and present something to council and Eleanor Holmes Norton in September. With that being said, I'll make the motion, then we can hold a 3-minute discussion as necessary. I move that we approve a formal resolution to deny the presence of the National Guard in ANC 5D. Can I get a second for this motion?
Second.
Let's say, I guess you all open. And second by Commissioner Rhodes, discussion. Go ahead, Commissioner.
So my question mark was not about the intent, but about the slight language.
Yes.
My understanding is that we're approving moving forward with a statement, but not approving a statement.
Correct.
How it was stated sounded a little bit like kind of pre-approving a statement. So
Yes,
that's why I slightly paused, but the intent and spirit.
Just in case if anyone, I guess this is an opportunity for us during the summer. If anyone asks what is ANC 5D's stance on this, we could say formally, we can say verbally, we're not in support of this, and a statement will be forthcoming. Yeah.
And when will the statement be forthcoming?
I think we should
By
approve it in
September?
September after our recess in August.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
All right.
Okay.
You have-
With that being said, it's been second. Commissioner Chair.
Okay.
Chairwoman, do you want to make the vote or you want me to finish it?
Go ahead and finish.
Okay, 5D01 is absent, 5D02,
Yes.
5D03,
Yes.
5D04,
Yes.
5D05, yes, 5D06,
Yes.
and 5D09.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, commissioners. Thank you.
All right, you have another one, Commissioner Salcedo Guzman, about
Yes.
sending a letter
Busy
to
on the project, so.
the Department of Health for
Yes.
rat birth control.
Yes, thank you,
Sending
Chairwoman.
a formal letter to the Department.
Yes, thank you, Chairwoman. I would like to make a motion that we request our Trash and Beautification Committee alongside our ANC commissioners come with formal actual locations where we can request the Department of Health to establish and bring rat birth control to certain areas that are plagued by high population of rats. Again, this stems from a request from my constituents off of Simps Place and 16th Street, where they share spaces with eating establishments where they have a high rodent population. Cats do help mitigate, but cats are not always available. So I would like our commission to work on making this request and making a formal statement and proposal at our September meeting. So I move that ANC 5D commences the process to request the DC Department of Health to bring rat birth control to ANC 5D in select parts of neighborhoods, and write a formal response from the commission in September. Can I get a second on this motion?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rhodes. Discussion?
Oh, yes, I do. I have a question. Really quickly, how is the birth control going to be given, and is it going to affect any of our flowers or trees or plants? Is it something that they put on the ground or something that they're going to put in the traps? How is it going to be given to, how's the rats going to get this birth control?
Yeah, I think the question is how rat birth control is administered. According to online information, it's via liquid bait or treated pellets placed in tamper-resistant wildlife based bait stations across infested areas. The baits have ingredients that actually not inject, but actually have the rats consume the birth control. And it's the only form of population management available right now in the city. So I think during our process, as we write a formal letter to DC Health, we can request that information in writing for them to respond. How does this affect the environment alongside our other animals and critters and greenery that we have already in our neighborhoods?
And have we seen any evidence of this working in any other communities or any other cities?
According to recent articles online and news reports, they have supposedly, and according to our at-large council member, Christina Henderson, they have seen this form of rat abatement work, but I don't believe that the numbers have enough longevity to actually say that the efforts are pretty substantial. So I guess it's still a work in progress to get proper data, but according to DC Health and our at-large council member, they have seen progress.
Okay, cool. Maybe is it possible we can get someone from Councilmember Henderson's office to talk to us in September?
I agree. Can we note that, Andy, for September? Commissioner Robin, you had a question? Comment?
Yeah. We've been talking about this issue in my animal caucus, and Ebony Payne is the main commissioner. She's been doing this, and it's quite a bit of work. She said, you know, it's a lot of work, but the whole community chipped in to do it. But they don't have a very conclusive results yet, but they will soon. And you know, we hosted Ebony at one of our community meetings. And Max Broad, who's voter, DC voter for animals, is also involved in it. And I think they're going to present on it tomorrow at the GW or the GW Rodent Academy.
Okay, great. Thank you for the additional.
But you guys could ask her. You could write to her and ask her for all the details. I'm sure she'd be happy to tell you because she's been the one who did it on the ground.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Roblin, for the additional information.
I'd like to ask a question.
Okay, sure.
I'm not sure if it's an amendment or a comment. My preference would be that we make such a resolution that urges action in particular areas, but does not prescribe a type of action, since it seems like a bit outside of our technical expertise. And so we could, I think what fits within our expertise is where the problems are most substantial, and that directly connects to our constituents. So I might say something like, take aggressive efforts in these areas. These may include, you know, such things as Burnett mentioned. I don't have a strong opinion, but it feels, the level of technicality feels a little bit outside of our, like our skill, but the location of the spaces feels very much within our view.
Okay, well, I'm excited.
I'll vote for it though, but I'm just saying that would be my preference. So
I think everybody is excited.
The rats don't bother me, but they can be pests. They can be pests. Yeah. Okay, so I placed a motion on the floor, second by Commissioner Rhodes. We've held a discussion. I'll do the vote. 5D01 is absent. 5D02.
Yes.
5D03.
Yes.
5D04.
Yes.
5D05 is a yes. 5D06.
Yes.
And 5D09.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have something ready and formal for September. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank
Chairwoman,
you.
I just have my final item is Trinidad Day proposal.
Yes.
I have a presentation to share and I can go through it quickly.
Can you go through it quickly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Right. Do you know how to,
Selection.
where is it? Oh, yes, is that? Yeah. Okay, so this is a request for ANC funding for Trinidad Day, which will be held Saturday, August 22nd, between 12 and 5 p.m. at Trinidad Rec Center, which is located at 1310 Childers Street Northeast. Originally, our committee requested a majority of our items to come from the Department of Parks and Rec, but sadly, due to changes of their schedule, Chuck Brown Day now falls on the same exact date, and they canceled all the equipment and rentals that we were going to get practically for free from DPR. The only thing that we were going to be charged from DPR was overtime for staff at the rec center. So just because of this change of date with Chuck Brown Day falling on Trinidad Day, we lost the ability to get staging equipment, audio equipment, games from DPR, which included giant chess, the moon bounce that they have, and some of the machinery such as cotton candy and popcorn machines. So we lost access to this because of the Chuck Brown Day change. Historically, though, we have benefited from having Trinidad Day on the same date of other big events such as this, because it's tend to keep certain folks away from our event and only at those big events. So we decided to keep the same date because our interest is to still give away backpacks at the event, which is the weekend before school starts. So moving forward with that, we pivoted and now requesting majority of our funding to come from ANC, while the funding that's coming from community is only for food, which the ANC cannot cover, as many of us know. So a little bit of background here on behalf of ANC 5D05, which is my single member district, and the Trinidad community as a whole. I would like to invite everyone to participate in Trinidad Day 2026, our annual celebration. This is going to be really a big homecoming for not only our residents of Trinidad, but our longstanding residents and extended family that once called Trinidad home. We have a lot of folks that have connections to this neighborhood for multiple generations, not just those that recently got here. But this is an amazing opportunity to connect new residents with old residents. And we are looking forward to that partnership as it's much needed in Trinidad today. Some of the features of this event in particular is that we will be having a food distribution, hot dogs, hamburgers, soft drinks, water, cotton candy, and popcorn. That budget is entirely coming from community. We are working with New Samaritan Baptist Church to get funding for the food in particular, alongside other community members such as myself that are donating funds to this event. We are doing a small community resource village. We'll be requesting tents, renting tents to block some of this strong sun. Since we have the turf field still approved by DPR for us to have that day. And I've requested over 20 different offices, agencies, and community-based organizations to table under these tents and just provide direct resources and information to residents. Some of the fun activities that we want to hold that day include a moon bounce, mechanical bull, water slide, petting zoo, obstacle course, live band, DJ, and photo booth. As many of y'all might recognize in one way or another, a majority of our events that occur in Trinidad tend to be smaller scale and not include some of these items. So we're using this as an opportunity to not only bring back residents, but also bring back some of this fun that we've had in the past. So a budget breakdown in itself, if you open the proposal on the agenda, it includes all the invoices, but this is just a brief breakdown just to showcase this in a presentation form. The budget breakdown is fairly simple. It includes marketing, equipment material, DJ and band, the petting zoo, and the face painter. So in the details, this is a potential yard sign that we've drafted for the event. It'll be double-sided. We're requesting 45 double-sided yard signs for Trinidad Day. We're also printing flyers, but the flyers will be printed free. Fast Signs has invoiced us tax-free at $893.20 for these yard signs. 45 might seem like a lot, but recognizing when outreach is done in a yard sign way, especially when we paid, I believe, $600 or so to the Trinidad Farmers Market last year for signs. Those signs were only actually placed in specific parts of the neighborhood. They were not extended out to East Trinidad or West Trinidad. And I want to make sure that we're very inclusive to not only include Trinidad, but also some of the other neighborhoods, such as Union Market, such as Carver Langston, such as Ivy City, and other parts that fall into Ward 6 and Ward 7. So we just want to make sure that not only that the entire commission benefits from this marketing, but other parts of the city as well that are directly impacted by Trinidad. So this is where the yard signs will come into play. Rental equipment includes a 360 photo booth, mechanical bull, 19-foot water slide, which is a major ask from a lot of residents for their children. 40-foot obstacle course. It's inflatable. It's the center picture, purple and red and gold in the middle. A kiddie bounce house. You see the Sesame Street design on there. A popcorn machine, cotton candy machine. 5 20 by 20 tents. That's a picture of one of the tents. 26-foot tables, 40 folding chairs, and 3 generators. CJ Moonbounce Incorporated, who's done work here in Trinidad, and I'll just say orally, verbally, and here in this meeting, all these vendors have worked in our neighborhood before with government agencies, so they're not new to the neighborhood or through the invoice process that DC government imposes. So CJ Moonbounce actually just worked at the Cure the Streets event. Shout out to our violence interrupters. They helped me with this pivot that DPR kind of forced on me last minute. And they're invoicing us for all these materials for $5,000 and $5,075. Again, it's a lot of money, but good quality materials. And this in particular with these equipment rentals, it's supposed to target not only children, but also adults that want to partake and have some fun. I will say that the Office of ANCs has reviewed all these invoices. Some of them I did not get approved by them, and I had to pivot and use either the same vendor for similar items or completely scratch out certain things. But in terms of the equipment rental, particularly with their Moonbounce, mechanical bull, these inflatable items where there's a potential risk involved, Denise Wichter has confirmed that once any invoices are approved, we must get a letter from the Office of Risk Management before we actually make payment. So I've already spoken to them. They said once we have invoices that we want to get paid, we have to get that letter from them first before we can actually pay them. So I just want to make that a note for the record that the Office of Risk Management must be involved to get these invoices paid. And CJ Moonbounce Incorporated has actually added ANC 5G to their insurance policy in order to make sure that this actually pulls through, because they are familiar with DC government. They had Cure the Streets on their insurance policy when they had their Day of Remembrance last month. So I just wanted to note that for the record. A live band, here we have invoices totaling $3,500 just for the band or just for the DJ at $1,325. TCB Band recently was also here in Trinidad last month at the Day of Remembrance at Joe Cole. And they told me I got 2 invoices just in case the commission doesn't want to approve the band and only the DJ or vice versa. But they did say if we wanted both, that we would get invoiced a smooth $4,000 for the band and the DJ during the event. And there's a link there if anyone's interested more in their music in particular, but it's a great go-go band. A petting zoo. So again, they've been here in the past here in Trinidad at Joe Cole. The petting zoo is marked for 3 hours, and Merry Go Round is the petting zoo company, and they invoiced us for $11.25. The petting zoo includes bunnies, chicks, 3 goats, lambs, a mini cow, a mini donkey, an alpaca, and a tortoise. And their only request is that we provide them a tent, which would include shade for their animals, which is noted in the equipment rental. And last but not least, we have a face painter. I did not realize that when you need to go through the proper channels of DC government, that face painters can be expensive. And Gloria's Face Painting has done face painting for the last few years at DC Public Library's events. So again, they are familiar with DC government. Their normal rate for large events such as this, where you have potentially 150 to 300 people attend, is $150 per hour. But they're invoicing us at a rate of 150, I believe, for 5 hours. I think I put here 4, but it's 150 for 5 hours. But they're knocking off 150 from the invoice since it's a community-based event, and they're invoicing us for everything for 600, which might seem like a lot because I know we can get some free face painters, but I just want to put that as a potential just in case we can't locate that in community. This is a proposed spending calendar for those that are curious how things are moving forward. Tonight is our meeting where we vote on approving the invoices. Next week, we have a planning meeting at the rec center just to go over things that were approved and not approved so we know how to pivot properly because we have a month left to the event. My plan is to make payment to vendors that are confirmed or deposits to be paid per the planning committee's recommendations on July 22nd. So we have that knocked out the way. And if there's any remaining vendors that need to be paid in full, 7 days before the event, which would be August 15th. And these are all direct expenditures that will be requested as noted in the proposal. So with that being said, we have a whopping budget of $11,694 for this event. Again, it's probably one of the largest events that we're going to see in ANC 5D. We don't have events at this magnitude in our commission. And Trinidad Day has historically always been a large event just because we are one of the largest neighborhoods in Ward 5. And I hope that the commissioners take into account that these are all vendors that have worked directly in community and that all want to be a part of this event because it's just a great event. So being the commissioner that has brought this back after an absence during COVID and what have you, I want to make sure that we still have this event, and hopefully next year this budget will be much smaller if DPR does not hold any big citywide events on the same day. So with that being said, I'll just request all the other commissioners to ask any questions, particularly with the proposal. And I'm open.
Okay, thank you for bringing us the proposal. Do we have any questions from the commissioners? I have a question.
Yes, sure.
The water for the water slide, how is that going to happen? And you said that they have insurance and they added
Yes.
5D. So if Commissioner Rhodes come down the water slide and fall off the side, will I be covered?
Yes, you will be covered because they're adding us to their insurance policy. And I have to follow up exactly those are my questions that I always ask personally for liability purposes. And when I know that we can approve this type of purchase, those are the questions I'm going to ask from the Office of Risk Management. So I'll make sure that we have that paperwork in place before I request the commission to make payment. Because that was what was requested of them when I talked to them today regarding all this paperwork, because it's pretty thorough.
And it seems like it's going to be very large and spectacular, less a roller coaster. So is this for the entire DC? Is this for DC as a whole, or is this just for Ward 5?
So great question. Again, being that it's going to fall on the same day as Chuck Brown Day, I hope that we're able to manage the great amount of people that are going to have fun that day, since there will be options the day of. Chuck Brown Day is not occurring at Chuck Brown Park up the street. It's going to be at Fort DuPont again this year. So it's on a different side of the city. And we do expect that we will just get our traditional and typical or residential folks to attend. But like I mentioned, based on the request for yard signs, I do want to make it still available to folks around the area.
Great, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay. Do you need to put the motion on the floor?
Sure, I'll put the motion. We can hold that final discussion as necessary. I move that we approve the direct expenditure requests as noted in the proposal to the commission today for Trinidad Day 2026. Can I get a second on this motion?
Second.
Second by Commissioner G. Campbell. Open discussion, 3 minutes.
Do anyone have anything to say?
I'll make a comment just for the record. I am upset that DPR canceled my initial request from February, last minute. I understand that they had to pivot. I spoke to Christopher Dyer. He explained everything very well. Miss Monet Kingwood, who handles permits at DPR, she explained everything well. But I am disappointed that for some reason they need all 5 of their stages at Trinidad at Chuck Brown Day. I haven't seen, any DPR event in the city need that many stages. There's showmobiles at once, but as they mentioned to me, all hands on deck for Chuck Brown Day, and it makes sense because that's Chuck Brown. So I understand entirely, but it does pain me that we have to spend this much for this event. But at the same time, I know residents want a quality event. And we haven't seen that in our area in a while. Respectfully, the only neighborhood I've seen able to put quality events is Ivy City. And I would love to have that same spirit in my neighborhood. So speaking personally, I do recognize this budget is big, but being that we have all the paperwork in order, we have vendors that have worked with DC government, and the Office of ANCs has reviewed all the invoices and the vendors and removed some stuff that I couldn't get. I think right now we're a good place to get this passed if my colleagues allow it.
Okay, okay. So let's put the motion on the floor.
The motion is on the floor.
Oh, okay,
Who seconded the motion?
G. Campbell.
G. Campbell.
okay, okay.
I'll finish the vote, Commissioner. 5D01 is absent. 5D02,
Yes.
5D03,
Yes.
5D04,
Yes.
5D05. I'll abstain because it's my project. 5D06.
5D06 is not here.
Oh,
She's
5.
driving. Do we need her for quorum? Because she said I could get her if we need her.
Are we missing quorum? How many?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Oh,
All set.
So what's quorum now if they were missing one?
We just need 5 for quorum, and we have 5 commissioners. 1, 2, Commissioner Rhodes, Commissioner Roblin, and Commissioner G. Campbell. And then the vote passes if it's a majority of the.
So it's
commissioners who vote.
4.
Yep, we just need
Got it.
5 people to vote, and then it's a
I was like,
simple
don't
majority.
make me change my vote. I already said abstain. Commissioner G. Campbell, 5D09.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion
Welcome.
passes. Thank you, commissioners. I appreciate y'all. I hope to see y'all there. I know some of y'all are taking vacation because it is our recess, but I really do hope to see y'all there. Y'all are very welcome, including all your residents, their mamas, their cousins, their daddies, and those folks in Tennessee that you'll even know. They're all welcome to come to Trinidad Day. Thank you.
We just need the flyers, put the flyers out so that everyone can have a good time if they're not going to the Chuck Brown Day Festival.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Of course. And the next thing we have is
Your resolution.
my resolution for equitable land use in Ivy City. This resolution calls on the Office of Planning and the DC Council to revise the 2026 draft future land use map and adopt the policies that protect Ivy City residents from displacement. And also reduce the concentration of industrial land uses. As we know, and as I have been yelling about for 3 terms, Ivy City and Brentwood bears the brunt of all of the industrial polluters, including the district's government agencies. So we want to reduce that concentration of industrial land uses and improve environmental and public health. It also recognizes that Ivy City, which is a historic Black community, has long been burdened by industrial pollution, environmental racism, extreme urban heat, which those cooling pavements are going to help, and rising housing costs. The resolution also urges the district to replace incompatible industrial uses with affordable housing, parks, and neighborhood serving development. Implement stronger anti-displacement protections, close or relocate major polluting facilities such as the National Engineering Products Incorporated, and also invest in climate resiliency projects and align future planning decisions with the district's commitment to environmental justice, racial equity, and sustainable community development. I put this motion on the floor. I motion that we pass this resolution and also encourage the Office of Planning and the DC Council to revise the 2026 draft future land use map. And I also want to add that the Office of Planning had put out to all of the commissioners to come to the DC 2050 workshop. So I do encourage everyone to participate in the comp plan rewrite. And the draft future land use map is part of the comp plan rewrite. So do I get a second? Or do we have a second? Okay, do we have a discussion?
Quick question, yes, for discussion.
Mhm.
If we don't pass this, out of curiosity, what's the impact?
The impact would be that they will just continue to put industrial land uses in Ivy City and Brentwood, something that we're fighting for. We also asked for them to do a industrial land use study. We're still waiting on that, but this future land use map, and it's called the FLUM. The acronym is the FLUM, and it goes until up to 2050. So it will have the city continue to pollute our communities and put industrial polluters in Ward 5, specifically Ivy City and Brentwood. So I'm not gonna tell everybody to vote yes, but basically this is a fight for our lives and fight for our quality of life.
Thank you.
Mhm. So,
So let me ask a question. Commissioner, is that's against the industrial stuff they putting up? Y'all are against it, right? Or y'all for it?
we're against having we're against the industrial land use as it is, and we're against any future industrial land use. We
Okay.
want them to use the other parts of the city to put PUDs or warehouses or factories. We don't need any more factories, warehouses, or PUDs or PDRs in Ivy City or Brentwood. They can either put it in another ward or send it outside the city somewhere. But and this will protect the residents not only of Ivy City, but of Brentwood and the rest of the city, because nobody in any of the other wards will take the stuff that we have here in Ivy City, specifically the National Engineering Products, which uses as a part.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Of course. Any more questions? Okay. So can we start with roll call? 5D01 is not here. 5D02, yes. 5D03,
Of course, yes.
5D04,
Idea for.
Yes.
5D05,
Yes.
5D06, 5D07, 5D08, 5D09.
Yes.
You pass?
Passes.
All right, thank you. Next, we have next and last, because we're going into 10 o'clock. Trash and Beautification Committee Internship, Commissioner Robin.
Yes, thank you. Just 1 second. I just have to notify Char and I have to get my little blurb going. So Matt,
I lost service, but I'm here.
oh great. So Matt is probably, can somebody check if Matt's in the house? Because he said there was a likelihood he won't be able to make it, unfortunately. But he might be here. Can
I
anybody
don't
check?
believe, he's
Yeah.
not online.
Okay, great, thanks. So I'm just gonna say this, Matt Monroe is applying for an internship with our Trash and Beautification Committee. I'm the chair of this committee. I can speak very, very highly of Matt. He's extremely enthusiastic. He's extremely dedicated. He has attended every single one of our meetings and has a ton of great ideas. Matt lives in Ivy City, and some of his ideas for Ivy City are to add greenery in terms of trees and shade throughout IC. He would like to see get some benches as well for Ivy City, ones without anti-homeless structures, and he wants to put more trash cans down Oakey Street because there's a lot of new businesses there, and he feels like there's not enough litter cans for the new traffic. So I feel very lucky and very happy that Matt has applied and that we have the chance to work with him. I believe he's an excellent candidate for this internship. He's extremely dedicated, enthusiastic, and I'm so glad he wants to work with us. And maybe Commissioner McCray wants to say something as well. I don't know.
Just really quickly, he'll be an intern for the Trash and Beautification Committee. He applied for that for all 9 single-member districts. So while his main base he's based in Ivy City, he will be available to all single-member districts for assistance.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to put the motion on the floor?
Yeah, thanks you. Thanks,
Mhm.
Commissioner. So I move that we accept Matt Monroe's request to be a intern in 5D Trash and Beautification Committee.
And I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
I'll second the motion just so that we can open
Okay.
it for discussion.
Okay, opening it for discussion. We don't have any new businesses on Oakey Street, so I'm not sure exactly which businesses he's referring to, other than the what is it, SPCA shelter. That's the only new business that we have there. Everything else is the same or have closed. So, and we do have folks that clean up the business side of Ivy City and the residential side of Ivy City. And also getting trash cans. We do have trash cans in the business, on the business side of Ivy City. So I'm not sure how getting additional trash cans will be helpful.
Okay, wow, I'm not sure. You'd have to
Can I-
speak to him about it. Yeah.
So just to clarify, so in this moment, we're not discussing Matt's ideas, I think, but just whether or not he would be an intern. And it seems like any action would still go through a sort of standard process, is my understanding. And if there were new trash cans, there'd be a process for that. Is that correct? Just feel that, to me, they feel like slightly different questions for kind
Oh,
of sets of
well,
conversations.
I'm just, yeah, his ideas, he has ideas, but the ideas are inaccurate because of the things that he's putting out and haven't been, those items have not been researched. But because I live here, I know for sure that we don't have any new businesses on Oakey Street other than the relocation of SPCA. So, but yeah, we can go ahead on the vote out. Those were the only questions that I had.
Maybe we could put as a note for the trash communication committee that any initiatives should be in contact with the appropriate commissioner for SMD so that there would be kind of buy-in and kind of clarification of ideas if he is trying to implement them.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. We can continue with the vote. 5D01 is gone. 5D02, yes. 5D03,
Yes.
5D04,
Yes.
5D05,
Commissioner Salvador stepped away.
5D06.
We can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. And
Got it.
5D09.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Andy, can you let us know how this went?
The ayes have it. 5 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions.
Okay, great. Now we have community feedback and questions. Do we have anyone in the public that would like to ask questions or make a comment? Okay. The nays have it. We will call it a night. Thank you all for joining us. It's 9:55 and yes.
You have to make a motion to.
Oh, I was about to. It was coming. I motion.
Sorry.
There's one.
I motion that we adjourn this meeting at 9:55. Thank you, Andy. Anyway, thank you. Can I have a second?
A second.
Second.
And the ayes have it. Do we have any nays? Okay, great. Thank you all, and you all have a good night. Be safe and stay cool.
Good night, everybody.